coffee. Oh, hi guys. I have my stones, my water, my pillow. It's time to get comfy. A couple of things that came up today for me that I wanted to talk about is trauma body, pain body. For some of us, I know how much of a struggle it is to wake up every day carrying this trauma body, because it is different every day. Which is to remind you to always keep yourself in authenticity. I know that sometimes it can be hard to show face carrying this pain body, this trauma body around, especially when you go to work, when you have to be in a group setting, and you feel this sense of shame. Don't be. Live your unique life. Show your unique life. And your lifestyle it can't all be the same as everyone else. But there is a reason why yours is different, and it is one to consider. It is one to appreciate, to be grateful for. You know, it's not easy being in trauma body, and I always say that when you have been living in this trauma body for so many years, it doesn't just take days or months. Sometimes it takes years and years for it to heal from. And every day is a new day. Every day you can get triggered by people, by places, by, you know, different situations, and just having conversations with people. Something just comes up from your childhood, or if you had a lot of childhood trauma, you know, and you're carrying this trauma body around, and it's just so difficult to get around things or to do certain tasks. It's always nice to remind yourself that it is something to be grateful for. It is something to be aware of, you know? Another thing also that I have written down here is sometimes when we are going about our day and we're doing a certain task and we can't identify if we are being our trauma body or being ourself, because those are two different things, right? Pain body and our true essence, those are two different things. We become two personalities, and we have to identify the real us from the trauma body. That's something that I had written down and something that I wanted to share with you guys. So important. So important. We have to be more aware of if we are acting out of our trauma body or if we are acting out of our true self. A couple of things that we can regulate our nervous system when we get triggered is to consider meditating. You know, when I started meditating, when I started getting into meditation, story time, this was around like 5 years ago. And I remember I was at work. I used to work at this pediatric office. And during lunchtime, I had an hour lunch. And so I would say, okay, I'm gonna go in one of these rooms, and there were like 22 rooms, and I'd pick a room, and each room there would be like, there's a big window where we can look out, and the sun is, you know, shining bright, and I would sit on a chair with my back straight. I would always slouch. I remember, you know, when there's just so many things that we don't pay attention to on a daily, you know what I mean? So many things that we're not so aware of about ourselves. And one of the things that I noticed about my body back then, before meditation, is that I would slouch. And so I would start by sitting up straight with my back straight on a chair. And I would meditate for about 5 minutes. I told myself that I'd give myself 5 minutes. Start off by 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however you feel comfortable in doing it. We all do it differently. But I started off, I would sit there with my back straight on a chair, and I would meditate for 5 minutes on my lunch break. And then I would do it again the next day. Do it again. I love this song. Do it again, 5 minutes. And then I started seeing and feeling a difference in my body, and not just my back, but also in my consciousness, in my awareness, where I put my focus. And I want you to experience that on your own. It's a wonderful experience if you can get to just sit yourself for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or going for a walk. Running is also a form of meditation. When you are feeling your body more and you're more aware of your breathing, that is also a form of meditation. You can sit, go to a park where the sun is shining bright, get some vitamin D. That's also very important. Our trauma body is just trying to get itself out of the dark, get itself out of the toxicity, the unwholesomeness that was put on us, this old programming, right? That we have to, like, the things that we had to believe in because they told us to believe in it. We live in a new world. The world is expanding, therefore our minds is expanding, our consciousness. It keeps evolving, keeps growing every single day. We are different every single day. Remember that. Every day we wake up, it's a new perspective, a new you, right? A new day to start and think about what we can do to better our mindset and how we can better heal our body, especially for the ones who have been living in trauma body for so many years. I know what that feels like. I have experienced trauma body myself. I have been dealing with pain body my whole entire life. I am now 30. And having to deal with trauma body is very difficult because sometimes we don't know how to identify our true essence from our trauma body. And so we go on and telling stories to people and defining ourselves as our trauma body, defining ourselves as our pain body, which is not true. We become our own worst enemy. We start to lie to ourselves about who we are because of this trauma body. Another thing too that I want to remind you guys is that since we are in Taurus season is all about, I just think about like flowers blooming, everything just coming to life. It is all about love, right? However you want to define that. There's so much to that. Finding beauty in people and things and every single thing and every little detail, right? Finding the joy, being completely present and seeing things unfold in front of you and seeing the beauty in that too. And for us who is in trauma body, it's hard to see those things. It's hard to see the beauty in things. It's hard to sometimes give love or even receive love. You know, we don't really know how to receive love. We don't really know how to give love properly, if you will. And so it's important to remind yourself in this season that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of respect, you are worthy of kindness, and you are more than capable of having to fight the trauma body. Every day we wake up and we just have to pull ourselves out of these negativity, these negative thoughts, these unwholesome feelings that we're having. It is our ego that is stopping us. It's this fear. And remember, fear, especially in society today, fear is so much more stronger than love. And we have to be on the other side of that bridge, you know? If we practice on self-care, if we practice every day on acting out of love, reacting out of love, we become love. And the moment we do, it's like we don't even have to try, you know? And then everything else just comes easy, effortless, just lightweight. You don't even have to try because you already are. You are just love. And specifically for people who have been in trauma body, it's a lot harder for us to see the beauty, the love in things, because trauma body isn't just all good things. It is all false, right? This sense of falseness, this sense of not belonging, this sense of not feeling at home, you know, because you're not in your true state, your true essence. And for us to be in our true essence, we have to practice on self-care. And I'm not just talking about face mask self-care. I'm not just talking about getting a pedicure, getting a manicure, getting a haircut, you know, making you look good on the physical. And that's all good too. I think that's amazing. I think it's important that you do that as well, that you are well-groomed. We love it when we see someone who is like well-groomed, who takes good care of their body. We love that, you know, keep up with that. But when I think of self-care, I also think shadow work, inner work. That's the most important thing. How do we go to work and feel good at work and be more efficient at work when we don't feel good in here, when we don't feel right in here, you know? That all links to having to become the person that you want to become more efficient at work, to become more, to be more of service to your friends, your family, and your coworkers, you know? We want to be that person who can lead and who has the answers. I'm one to just, you know, practice every day because I'm just one to just be like, I gotta know everything. I used to hate it when, you know, I'd like meet people and I'd hate it when they would like talk about so many things and they just knew everything. And I hated that because I did it. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have this natural state of like knowing everything. Like, and then I would just look at people and be like, how do they do that? How are they so happy all the time? How are they so smart and intelligent? Like, how do they do that? And that's what motivated me to read more. I love reading. I never knew that I love reading until I started reading. And when you do, let me tell you, when you read, give yourself like 20 minutes every day, maybe 30, right? Or do it for an hour, okay? Let's do it like let's just read for an hour straight and see how you feel. How much it opens you up to so many other things, ideas, right? As soon as you start reading those words, it gives space in your mind about other things. It like leads you to other things, and it gives you so much ideas on other things. It just opens you up to different things. But anyway, 1 hour every day, read. Find time. We gotta find time. I don't know where I was going with this, but I would look at people and I would be so envious of their life and think, if that person can be happy like that every single day, then I'm pretty dang sure that I can do the same thing. You know, I would always tell myself that. Like, how do they do that? And so that's what motivated me to become more self-aware of myself, to become more, driven in life. You know, I used to be in this depression. I used to be in severe depression, anxiety through the roof. And it was around that time when I would look at people and be like, I want to be just like them. I want to be like them when I grow up. I want to have that smile on my face too, you know? How do they do that? It was around that time when I was like super depressed and I couldn't get myself out, you know? And I think it's so important that, imagine if we were all depressed. Imagine if we were all in the same pace, you know, living the same lives. Like, how boring our lives would be, like how boring this world would be, like. But I'm such a curious person that when I see beauty in things, when I see beauty in people, I'm just like, I gotta be that. I gotta do that. You know, there's gotta be a way for me to get out of this depression. And that's what drove me to practice on meditation, to stretch more. Stretching, doing yoga poses helps to regulate our nervous system. Very important. I would do more research on that as well. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing so many researches on how to heal the body. I've been doing it for like 5 years now, and I feel like a different person. If you would have known me 5 years ago, you wouldn't have known me. You wouldn't have thought it was me, because I was just a completely different person. Reminder, Taurus season. Surrender. Let it go. Let the old self go. It's so easy for you to say that, Kimber. Well, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm saying that, you know, being on the other side of fear is just the most wonderful feeling in the world. How could you not want to share that with anybody? How could you not want to share your stories with anybody? Just a reminder. And I know it's not easy to be doing this in a day, overnight. Of course. It took me 5 years to get my nervous system regulated, and I'm still having episodes, you know. But it doesn't mean to give up. It doesn't mean to not keep practicing on these things, on self-healing. And it's funny too, when I start talking about self-care and self-healing, like sometimes you see people just like giving you all these dirty looks, like, oh, self-healing, what's that? Like, you can't, this is just not possible. Well, not with that attitude, you really can't. You know what I mean? You really can't. With that kind of attitude, you really cannot heal. Some kind of greater, higher power to believe in, first of all. Whatever you put your mind to, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Today, let's make the impossible possible. How about it? Okay, awesome. I don't really know how to end videos, but I'm gonna end this video now. I hope everyone has an amazing day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.